Ladies and gentlemen, what political formation do you think can guarantee Azimio brigades direct win over William Ruto in 2027? That is something which I asked yesterday. And earlier today, there is also another video in which I revealed that Kenya Kwanza are already laying an elaborate strategy for 2027 while Azimio are still sleeping. And in that particular video, I explained that, for example, Kenya Kwanza already has their team. They know who their presidential candidate is. They can retain Rigathi Gachagua, and then they can give Mudavadi and Wetangula hope of 2030. Is it 2032? And of course, Musalia Mudavadi is also very clear and is on record that for him is not interested in 2027. So which means for Kenya Kwanza, they are already sorted. But what about Azimio? What formation can guarantee them a victory against William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza? Is it possible that Raila Odinga will be on the ballot? If not, who will he support? Is Raila Odinga going to support Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua ticket? Or are we going to see Kalonzo Musyoka and either Oparanya or Eugene Wamalwa? Or is it possible that Azimio is going to disintegrate so that ODM will have their own candidate? In that case, Hassan Joho and Oparanya. Or is it possible that this time around Raila will not be on the ballot? Then they'll have Martha Karua as a presidential candidate to win the support of the mountain, again paired with the Kalonzo Musyoka. I'll look into those formations tomorrow, I promise. But for now, I want us to look at the headache, serious political headache, which Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and Azimio strategists are actually finding themselves in crafting the 2027 winning formula. In 2022, the Azimio team missed a winning formula. Because remember, Raila Odinga was the presidential candidate, but there was a thought that Raila Odinga ought to have been paired with Kalonzo Musyoka. But Raila Odinga preferred Martha Karua. In fact, for those in the know, they always tell me that Uhuru Kenyatta was not really for Martha Karua because he knew something which Raila Odinga did not know. So they made that blunder. For me, if you ask me, as much as Azimio got votes in the mountain and some were stolen, if, for example, Azimio had someone proactive, like let's say Mwangi wa area, probably things would have been a bit different. So in this video, I want us to look at those headaches. And probably you can advise on how they can overcome those challenges. Before you do that, if you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, let us dive in. Before we dive in, I know you guys have missed this t-shirt. For those who've been here long enough, this t-shirt, I think it's two years old or more. They were sponsored by someone who printed for me, and in most cases I distributed them to a few individuals free. And of late I've been getting a lot of requests for t-shirts. I'm planning to print. Someone on this platform called Rono is already designing for me a logo, which we might change this. So for those who are interested in these t-shirts, this time around we are going to sell them, because last time we tried getting a cheaper printer, we could not get because of the quality. So this time around I'll try and get just enough quality which you can purchase. But of course, those who are outside the country, you can always get them. They are available. I know a few guys are normally purchasing them from the channel there. But what are the challenges in choosing or crafting a winning formula? What are some of the factors which Azimio should consider? For William Ruto, if you ask me, his vision was very simple and he executed it. William Ruto just wanted to have the Kikuyus on his side and the Kalenjin. then his strategy was to get a few votes in Raila Odinga strongholds. And that's why William Ruto, during the last campaign, focused all his energies in the mountain. I don't think there's any church where William Ruto never attended in the mountain. But what about Azimio? What can they do? I mean, what are some of the factors which they have to consider? The first factor which they'll have to consider, in my view, is numbers. Politics is a game of numbers. So if Azimio intends to remove Ruto from office, who will bring the highest number of votes? That is the question. In fact, that is the only question, the only reason why Uhuru Kenyatta stuck with Raila Odinga. Because according to Uhuru Kenyatta, he believed, which is true anyway, that Raila Odinga had the numbers. So in Azimio today, who can bring the numbers? Let us look at Kalonzo. Can Kalonzo bring the numbers to Azimio? Let's say Raila is not on the ballot, then he settles on Kalonzo Musyoka. Then who can Kalonzo Musyoka be paired with to gain those numbers? If, say, Kalonzo is a presidential candidate, he will get the Kamba vote. That's guaranteed. Kalonzo might get a bit of Kikuyu votes. Kalonzo cannot be guaranteed of Western votes unless it's going to be paired by someone from the Western. And then Kalonzo will be assured of the Luo votes and probably the coastal votes. What about Martha Karua? If Martha Karua is now made the presidential candidate, can he deliver the numbers? The question is, if there's Martha Karua on the ballot as a presidential candidate and William Ruto, for example, as a presidential candidate, then you give the Kikuyus to choose. Who will they choose? Or is there a possibility that now Kalonzo can be paired with Wairia? I'm just trying to figure out. So the first and the biggest headache for them is the game of numbers. Which political formation can bring the numbers? And in the comment section, please, I want you to just figure out Azimio and try to explain to me in the comment section which political formation you think can bring the numbers. Raila Odinga has the numbers. But does he have what it takes? So that's number two is the acceptability. If you are to make Raila Odinga a presidential candidate again in Azimio, will the campus accept? In my latest video, I explained that Dan Manzo actually revealed how Sonko made Ruto the president. Do you think the Kamba nation will support Raila Odinga again for the presidency? Now, assuming now the ticket is given to Kalonzo, will it be acceptable to other regions? For example, for Kalonzo to become the president, he needs the Kamba votes, he needs the Luo votes, he needs the Luya votes. Can Kalonzo Musyoka secure Luya votes without Raila Odinga on the ballot? What about even the Luos? Will they accept Kalonzo? So there's that issue of acceptability. Who will be accepted? For Kalonzo Musyoka, he has advantage, for example, the church. For Martha Karua, his reform credentials. For Oparanya, it's not really tested and tried, but I'm sure he might be acceptable. For Malwa, will the lawyer agree to rally around one of them if one of them is to be given the ticket? So the issue of acceptability is also something which is giving Azimio handlers and strategists serious political headache. The third headache is the Mount Kenya equation. The 2022 general election was actually won in the mountain. I'm saying this because originally Azimio's strategy was to gain, I think, 25 or was it 30% of the mountain, which with the support of Uhuru Kenyatta appeared to be possible. They failed to get it. But again, that Mount Kenya vote will still determine who becomes the next president of the Republic of Kenya. For example, if Kalonzo Musyoka were to be given the ticket and then Mount Kenya drifts towards Kalonzo, then Ruto will be mincemeat. But what about if that ticket excludes, if the Azimio ticket excludes Mount Kenya, that you have Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate, and then you have Eugene Wamalwa or Oparanya. Or let's say you have Raila Odinga then paired with Kalonzo Musyoka, because there's even the possibility that you can actually have Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate and pair him with Raila Odinga. So that for Kalonzo Musyoka, you give him the ticket to secure the Kamba votes and a bit of the Kikuyu votes, then Raila to retain the Azimio as a running mate. But will Mount Kenya still vote? Because Mount Kenya equation is actually what messed up Azimio. The fourth factor is external or international factors. You know, William Ruto went into the 2022 election as an underdog without any international connection. But the international community wanted Ruto because they had studied Ruto. They knew his weakness. And that's why they made him the president. From Azimio's side, because right now I'm seeing a fallout between Ruto and the US. There is no way William Ruto can continue attacking the US government the way he's doing, including yesterday, if there's no fallout. He was attacking the dollar. The big brother is actually watching. So I've always suspected that there's a fallout between Ruto and the Western community. So who will they be able to support? Will they be comfortable with Raila? Will they be comfortable with Martha? Will they be comfortable with Kalonzo? Or are they going to prop up someone else? So the person who has that appeal to the international community, someone they can manipulate, in my view, because the international communities, in my view, nowadays, their main interest is their personal interest, not your interest. So who can serve their personal interest? For Raila Odinga, I don't think they can allow Raila Odinga. So if it's Kalonzo, can they allow Kalonzo? What about Martha Karua? I don't think they'll allow Martha Karua. Maybe Wamalwa, but international factors are also some of the factors these guys must put into consideration. And lastly, which is very important, is campaign financing. Who can finance a presidential campaign? Raila Odinga has proved over the years that he can finance. He has actually financed now 4 presidential elections, campaigns. Can Kalonzo finance a presidential campaign? Remember how in 2022, former cabinet secretary Rashid Echesa reminded Mudavadi that he cannot be a presidential candidate because he can't raise even 400 million. Can Kalonzo raise that money? I'm sure if Kalonzo were to be given the ticket, there are enough Kamba millionaires who will rally around him. What about Martha Karua? What about Wairia? So the ability to finance campaign is also going to be a factor. And probably that explains why Kalonzo is keen on working with Mike Mbuvi-Sonko. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.